Hi there, Shirin Askari here. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to go through and clear out some of my garden to get ready for some spring plants that I bought. So there's a lot to do. Let me take you around and show you what I have to do. So this back here is my kale, and this has been giving me a lot of really good leaves for a while now. I actually pulled some this morning and made a smoothie out of it. So I'm not going to pull this out just yet, just because I'm still pulling from it and it still looks like it's doing fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this in for now. Okay, so this back bed I'm not going to be touching today. I still need to run a drip line through it, but I basically prepped the entire bed. We have very clay-like soil. I mainly have raised beds in all of my garden except for this back bed right here. So what I had to do is I had to prep this soil. I had to go through and add a ton of compost, a ton of manure, and a little bit of peat moss just to kind of aerate the soil. And you can see it's definitely not as clay-like as it used to be, but I still need to run a drip line through it. So I'm not going to plant anything in here today, but for now, it is sitting here waiting for me. Okay, so in this bed right here, I used to have all of my lettuce. I actually just pulled it out just because it was starting to bolt. It got really warm here. But as you can see, I'm gonna have to fill this bed up a little bit more just because it's getting pretty low. So I'll probably fill it up with some compost and some top dressing, and that should be fun. I just planted this carrot a little while ago, so it looks like it's doing much better than it was doing in the pot. Over here, I have some lemon balm, some sage, and some lavender in the back. I will probably plant something in this little hole, and then once I trim these down, I'll be able to plant something back here. It's just right now, these are kind of overgrown, so I'm gonna have to trim all of this back. Okay, so as you can see, I just went ahead and cut down the sage and the lemon balm. That'll give me more room back here to plant something. And now I have a lot of fresh sage to cook and dry. So yay! Okay, so like I said before, I'm gonna have to go back through and build this garden's bed back up to where it was. It's gotten really low after a few growing seasons. So what I use in my garden is Mel's Mix. It's actually a recipe for square foot gardening. What that means is it's 1 part peat moss, 1 part vermiculite, and 1 part compost. So I'm going to go back in and add each one of those, probably more compost than anything, and then I'll probably just add like a topsoil garden builder just to kind of cover up the drip lines because I don't really have any mulch right now. So for now, that's what I'm going to do so I can get these spring plants in. So yeah. Okay, that was a lot of stuff, I know. But what I ended up doing was I just went ahead and added the peat moss, vermiculite, the compost, as well as some manure. I threw some manure in there, and then I just topped it off with this garden builder, which also has compost in it as well. So that should suffice for now. I am also gonna do a biotone starter with every plant that I put in specifically. So yeah, so let me get some plants in here now. Okay, so these are the plants that I have to choose from. I have 3 varieties of cucumbers. I love cucumbers, and I'm really gonna try hard to grow them this year. I had a little luck with them last year, but just not great. I also planted cucumbers from seeds in addition to cantaloupe, so I will plant those as well. Okra, oh my god, I got okra last year, and this grew to like 6 feet tall, so I am really excited about this. I got a ton of okra to the point where I was just like having to freeze it. I had so much. Lemon eucalyptus, I had this last year and I loved it, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant it again. I got a different variety of lavender that smells heavenly. Eggplant. I'm trying my hand at eggplant again. I tried it last year, didn't do so great. I only got a couple, so I'm gonna try that again. Let's see, yellow squash as well as just green zucchini. I had good luck with zucchini last year, trying it again. And then a French bean, which I don't know if it's too late for this plant, but I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in the ground and see what happens. And then a dill over here. And then this is watermelon. I figured I'm trying cantaloupe, why not try watermelon? I got a sugar baby, which is pretty small. I'll probably plant this in the back bed as well. So anyway, that's what I have.
Okay, so the only thing I'm planting over here is this okra, and the reason being is because last year when I planted this, it grew to about like this wide and 6 feet tall, so I don't want that to happen again. So this is the only thing that I'm going to put over here. Okay, over here I have my blueberry plant that's doing really, really good. You can see the little blueberries coming in right there. They're green right now, but they're going to hopefully turn blue pretty soon here. So that's great. These are my tomato plants back here that I just planted in some bigger pots that I have. But I'm gonna have to either plant these in the garden or I'm gonna have to put them in some huge pots. So I have not decided about that yet. Okay, so in this bed, what needs to come out is this lettuce. This cilantro needs to get cut down. It is way too big. The parsley needs to get cut down or just come out. The broccoli definitely needs, I mean, come on. I mean, really? It all needs to come out. So now I'm going to have all the cucumbers basically on this side of the bed, and then I'm going to trellis them out that way onto this gravel right here. Okay, so because cucumbers have really sensitive roots, if you're going to start them from seeds like I did with these, make sure you start them in a biodegradable pot, just because you don't want to disturb the roots when you put them into the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and plant this whole pot into the ground because it is going to biodegrade in the ground, so I don't have to worry about it. So now before I put anything in, I normally put Biostarter in it, just because I started doing that and I feel like it helps a lot just to get the plant established in the ground. Here I have my Brussels sprouts that also bolted to not give me any sprouts. Really sad about that. I read a bunch of different things online about how, you know, you just have to like wait a little bit and then you might get, I don't know, but it's just kind of getting to be crazy. So I'm just probably going to take all this out and just add it to the compost bin. Okay, so I thought it would be really fun to take you around the garden and show you what it looks like 3 weeks after I planted all of that stuff. Okay, so we had a really big storm last night, so disregard all of this debris everywhere. But this right here is my okra. So as you can see, it's already getting pretty big. Now this will get to be about like 6 feet tall if I have any luck with it like I did last year. This is my French bean. It also is getting pretty good size. I'm already starting to see some little beans right there. It might have some blight, I'm not sure. I might need to get some stuff to spray it, but I kind of MacGyvered this little TP trellis until I can go get one. This is my eggplant. That's the carrot. So the carrot is probably going to be done pretty soon. So I'm going to need to probably check on that one. These are already overgrown again, so I'm going to have to go through and cut these down again. My lemon eucalyptus is coming in nicely. My dill is being overshadowed by the sage right now, but it's in there. The lavender is starting to bloom, which is really nice. And then this one right here is definitely starting to bloom. Okay, this is my basil right here that's coming in pretty nicely. However, I do have to be better about coming in and pulling off these little flowers because you don't want flowers on your basil. It's going to make it bitter. Over here I have the oregano, which is actually doing really well. That looks way better than it did last year, so I'm glad. The chamomile, oh my god, it is getting all these pretty little flowers. So I decided to plant a chamomile right here just because, I don't know, it's fun and it's pretty. Okay, so my cucumber plant, oh my goodness. So this has already given me a few cucumbers like in 3 weeks, which is crazy because some of these I started from seeds and they were about this big when I put them in the ground. I'll put a picture for you so you can see, but I have cut a few and you can also see a few that are coming in. This one right here is a cucumber patio snacker. So this one I believe just turns into a bush. This one doesn't need to be trellised, but these definitely need to be trellised. And this like little janky 1 foot trellis that I put over here just in the meantime is not gonna cut it. So I'm gonna have to build like a trellis right here or just go buy one so that these can all kind of be trellised out this way, which was my plan. So this right here are my tomato plants, and to be quite honest, I didn't think these were going to make it. I took way too long to put them into the ground. They were already looking kind of ragged when I put them in there. But so far, I've already gotten some tomatoes. I've already pulled a few of these. These are the tomato sun sugar. I also planted the super sweet 100, and then these are a bigger tomato right here. Let me see if I can figure out what this is. This is the tomato mountain magic. So these are actually gonna get much bigger. So that's really exciting. I didn't have good luck with tomatoes last year, so I'm excited to kind of try them again, and I'm glad that these are, you know, somewhat surviving and thriving, I guess, a little bit. Back here is the bed that you saw before that I had basically just added a bunch of compost, a bunch of manure. We have very clay-like soil. I create the soil in my garden beds, but this back here is just the soil from the ground. But I went ahead and added a ton of compost and just tried to get the soil up to par. This is an English cucumber. Again, another trellis needs to be done right here. This is way too small, but for now it's okay. But I am getting a ton of little flowers on it, so hopefully that'll give me some cucumbers. I have some zucchini here, some squash, which are doing well, and these are actually little cantaloupes that I started from seeds that I put into the ground. So these are doing really well. I'm excited. I would love cantaloupe, and if I could get one cantaloupe out of these 3 plants, I will probably be really happy. This right here is the watermelon sugar baby. Again, first time putting watermelon into the ground, so I'm hoping that I at least get 1 watermelon. But it's looking really good, and I have a feeling this plant gets pretty big. Even though it's a very small variety of watermelon, it's probably going to take over this entire space of gravel, which is fine. And then I put in 2 stalks of corn just because last year I tried to grow corn, and I actually had it in a box last year, and our power went out when we were out of town, and the sprinkler system didn't go off, so they all died. They did not, it didn't work. And so I thought I would just get 2 stalks. I know these get pretty big, but they're up against the fence, so it's not gonna really matter. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below, and I will see you next week. Bye.